Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Frontline Prediction League in the Trenches. Yes, this is FPL In The Trenches. I'm your co-host, Scott. Joining me is Bear Me Jesus. How are you today, Bear Me?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I have that eternal cough that's been bugging me for episodes of Top of the Card and Frontline Trenches. It's forgive me if I cough every now and then. It's just been a kind of a thing that's a dry throat, and it's that time of year. This is Frontline Prediction League, Frontline League on Twitter. This is our recap show and preview show this time around as we look towards WARGAMES. If you like, follow, and subscribe, and favorite, and all that fun stuff. On the YouTube video on this channel, you'll see more stuff, and you'll see promos, and you'll see histories, and you'll see this kind of stuff coming up. Put your picks in for this Sunday. It is Sunday for WARGAMES, and you'll be on the card. There's some announcements we have for that one, but let's dive in, Beer Me. What do you say? See, a little bit of a cough. Forgive me, everybody. I'm just going to jump into the announcements. I think that's the best way to do it. Get those announcements out first, and then we'll run down the rest of the card, because we've touched briefly on the matches on WARGAMES, but we haven't actually dove into them because we knew this week was coming. So if we do that and announce these matches first and then do that, we'll get to go through all of it. I think that's the way to go. So we've got announcements mostly for WARGAMES, yes, but some of this stuff does tailor over to day one and even obviously towards the Rumble and so forth. But bear me, I think you said you want to do your announcement first, or should I do one of mine? Because I've got 3 matches here and something else.
Go ahead and do.
You got 2, you said, right?
First.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a triple threat for everybody, and this is an interesting one because Mad Elite Titan and Bane the Bissa, 2 of the people that have had some close faddles, I almost said, fights or battles, or both, take your pick. Those 2 are in a triple threat match with Wesley Shadow. I did finish what I was saying. Close fights with the world champion, Bastion, is what I meant to say. Those 2 are in a triple threat with Wesley Shadow. So this is an interesting one to see kind of what shakes out from that. And I like that match a lot, just because it's a bit of a pecking order thing, and nobody really loses big, but somebody does get to jump up. So I like that a lot. I think Bane did better than Mad Elite, but Wesley Shadow is doing really well too. I think Shadow would be the one to steal it. He's the Roderick Strong out of this, with the AJ Styles and Nakamura kind of thing, if you get what I'm saying. Wesley Shadow's the type to steal that, and that might influence the write-up. I don't know. But I kind of like Bane. Bane's a fun one to write, and I want him to win. So I'm picking Bane the Bissa. That's a personal reason. This is a fun one to write. So what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Wesley Shadow. I think since he's half of the tag champs, I think he's gonna show out in this singles match.
I can see that. Singles match. Well, it's like I said, it's a one-on-one. One-on-one-on-one. But yeah. But what have you got? What's one of your matches?
All right. I'll just jump into this one. All right, Scott. I got a match of the night. You and Redhead 12 will be taking on Cammy Cat and the Gaffer.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I got to go tag for a bit. I got hurt. I got beat up. I got hurt. I kind of got put it out there. I'm actually going to be doing a promo shortly regarding that. My idea is basically that I can only get cleared if I'm in a tag match or something like that. Like, that's a good way to do it. But I want to do more tag matches. It's that time of year to do tag stuff. I find that's usually when I kind of make a run for it. And historically, I've won tag titles this time of year. Hey, Familia, guess what? Here I come. I don't know. But hey, I keep saying we need teams. I'm in a team. I'm in 2 teams technically. So yeah, I'm picking myself on that. It was Cammy Cat and the Gaffer. Never faced the Gaffer. I'm really intrigued by that one. And Cammy Cat is always fun. Cammy Cat's legitimately unpredictable, but also character-wise. Like, you never quite know what you're going to get with her picks. So I'm picking myself, obviously, as always. But I need to rebound after that. I have 5 wins in a row and lost Survivor Series. So got to get that win back. So are you picking me, or are you going with the crazy underdogs?
I'm gonna pick you guys because you guys have more chemistry.
We're actually, I think, 3-1, technically, not counting the Survivor Series. We're like 3-0. I forget, but it's been so spread out. Like, we lost at Vengeance Day back in February, but then we won everything else when we've teamed. So we've been good, but it's been over a span of like 8 months. So See if we can get some consistency going. It's the way to go, I think. I will announce one of our Watson Rules matches. Yes. We have a Watson Rules match to announce. Whatever could that be for? It is Tino versus Kier 1 in a Watson Rules match. Remember I said last time, Beer Me, we have log jams. We need to figure out things with contenders. Stuff like this is how we get there. We need to figure out Canadian contenders. Hey, how about we go this route? And we get some Watson Rules matches. We see how people do. See how it shakes out. Because that's what the Watson Rules is. That's the Canadian Championship is under Watson Rules, currently held by Smooth Rock, and longtime champion Ralentendo, who gets that rematch at the Rumble. Where's the day one? I forget now. We'll get there. But it's... The Watson Rules are basically very simple, and yet they're convoluted, but it's very simple. It's like pure points. And if there's a tie after those points of just your picks, 1 through whatever of the matches, then we go to the bonuses in the order that they're listed. And then we see, does it change? And if it does, we have a winner. And we go with that one. And that's it. Thematically, yeah, it's a 20 count. If you get disqualified or counted out, you lose the title to the you have to win. There's a 30-minute time limit because you have to beat the champion, all that classic stuff. But yeah, Tino and Kier 1. This time of year, it's Tino time, and Kier 1, I'm pulling for you, but Tino, I don't know. Tino's more of a Rumble guy. Let's be honest, but
yeah,
I'll go Kier 1. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll pick Kier 1.
I was going to do the same thing. I was going to pick him too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What have you got?
Let's just do it right now. I have the other Watson Rules match.
Hey!
I have Luke Gray versus Junction.
Ooh. Excuse me. Junction has been hit or miss for a while, but has slowly been getting, I don't want to say little wins. Wins are wins. So they're happening. And Luke, it just needs to get back on that next page. And after that Survivor Series performance, it was pretty great. I think this is very, very good. I'm very, very intrigued to see that. I'm pulling for Luke just as the favorite of the underdog. Not that he even is anymore, but you know what I mean? Jeff Hardy kind of always was the underdog. That kind of thing.
Right.
It's kind of that. It's he's not really the underdog, but he is. But I'm picking Luke for that. I want Luke to win that. Who have you got?
Man, this is really hard. I think Luke's got all the momentum, but I could easily see Junction win this. I'm going to pick Luke too, but I could see Junction being the Undertaker to Luke's Jeff Hardy in this match.
Remember, it is the bonuses, and I know I fought Luke before, 2-3 years ago, I think now. It was at one of the UK shows, the first UK show, I want to say it was. It was around that time, because I faced Buck and Luke around that time, and it was close both times, and I was only saved by bonuses in those kind of matches. Fart Bucket actually was the same thing. I only won from bonuses. With no bonuses, all bets are off, right? You can't rely on that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how Luke does. He's got to rely on that, because if Junction's just always bad at bonuses, it's not going to matter. He'll have pure points, and Luke won't have any. And Luke has been pretty good with bonuses, I think. So,
right.
This is very interesting. This is part of the fun of a stipulation. So, yeah, 2 Watson Rules matches. Not saying there's a tournament. Not saying we see who does better and who gets a shot. I don't know. Well, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. Do you actually have that?
Yeah. Do you want me to? Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and give the announcement.
Hey, sure.
For those two matches, the winner of the 2 Watson Rules matches at NXT, they will face it day 1 in another Watson Rules match, with the winner fighting for the Canadian Championship at the Royal Rumble.
There we go. So that means Ralentendo's shot is at day 1.
Yep.
And Ralentendo or Smooth Rock will defend against the winner of these 2 matches here, who face off on another match. So yeah, lots of Canadian title action going on right now. So we could have Ralentendo reclaim his belt only to lose it to Luke. Or Junction shock everybody. Or, being January, it could be Tino time. Or Smooth Rock shuts them all down. I love it. Yeah, it's good. This is fun. I like this. This is very interesting, very intriguing. So I hope everybody understands how Watson rules work. It's a lot of fun, and we designed it so there should be no ties. If there is, we'll figure something out. I don't. We haven't even talked about that possibility because it just shouldn't happen. It's very rare for it to happen. Ask GMSG and Bastion; they know how that happens. Anyway, who do you have on the overall though? Like, so we're both thinking Kier 1, and we're both thinking Luke. Now I know we'll talk about day 1 when we get there, but I kind of like Luke's chances against Kier 1.
Oh yeah.
What do you think on that one at day 1? If that's how it goes,
I think if that's the case, man.
Well, because you picked Kier 1 and you picked Luke, right?
I did.
So if they both advance,
I did, but it's tough because like I do want Luke to win because he's been so close so many times, and it would be like, man, if he got to the finals and like lost again, it's like, it's like it would be heartbreaking. But that's the only reason I'm not going to pick Kier 1 is because I kind of want Luke to actually go all the way.
Well,
but I mean, in all honesty, though, my dark horse for these 4 people is probably Junction. I think he could come in and just take it.
Yep.
Because nobody's expecting it really.
Now, the other part of it, too, to remember is Luke did just have that big Survivor Series moment. So he finally got one of those wins, right? So
right.
Maybe he's turned that corner. Maybe he can win the big one. Maybe he just showed that, and here we go. This is his time. And then he faces Smooth Rock or Ralentando. And I don't know what they're... Like, I want Luke to go all the way. Just saying. Doesn't matter who's the champ. I kind of want Luke to win it all. That'd be cool. But I also, like I said this before with McKennedy and his challengers, I kind of want him to shut them all down, too. I love that idea for Smooth Rock. I like all of it. Yeah. It's good. It's a lot of fun stuff. So, speaking of contenders, bear me, I've got one as well for you Americans. Just had your Thanksgiving and such. I've got a one-on-one match. It is a death match. The winner of this match will face Alexander McKennedy, still our FPL American champion, at day 1. It is Jace of Blades on his Hardcore Odyssey, his quest, versus Modstep.
Oh.
So, the simple creature, or I guess the single creature now, depending, or there's still JJ, but depending how that goes after the heinous attack by the Strays, there's not many creatures left, and Modstep and Chappers aren't really even a thing anymore, because Chappers got taken out pretty much indefinitely. So what's Modstep going to do? He's going to go and try to wreak some havoc of his own, and he runs into Jace of Blades, who figuratively and literally, in this case, is a buzzsaw. So I like the idea that Jace's quest has kind of led to this, but I don't know about Modstep. I don't know what to expect from him in this match, because he's had like tag title stuff and he's had big matches as part of the creatures in stipulations, but never solo, right? That I know that I can think of. So he could well be out of his element here, and this could be Jace to win, or Modstep just does what Modstep does and never bet against the creatures. You never bet against the creatures, but that's until the Strays show up and damn near eliminate them. I kind of want Jace's quest to go towards Hardcore and go towards the title. I kind of like that.
I think it's going to, yeah. I can see. I've been seeing this for a while. I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to beat Modstep.
Now, that means Jace versus McKennedy at day 1. Again, we'll get more to that when we get there, because it might be Modstep for all we know. But if we're both thinking Jace, do you think he can upset McKennedy? Does that seem kind of like the destiny that's been all along after all this time? I kind of think so a little bit, just because who can do it? The guy who's made it his mission to go on this hardcore, ultra-violent Odyssey quest of brutality, right? He named it something. I completely forgot what it was and just said 8 different words that were similar. But that's kind of the point, right? I like to see where he goes, and I want to see that happen. So, I think it's McKennedy. McKennedy will probably smash him anyway. That's what McKennedy does. But if anyone can do it, Jace seems like he's literally lining up to do so.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued by that. Very intrigued. Do you have any other announcements or matches, Beerme?
Nope.
No. Well, let's jump into the card already announced. The FPL World Championship also on the line. We're talking about day one and the Royal Rumble for future stuff, but this Sunday, the FPL World Championship will be defended by Bastion in his second defense after the Sebastian Escobar Hell in a Cell against James Costner, guy who beat me. And I think if I got from his promo right, this is his first ever world title shot, which I was not 100% on, but knowing that, I've been there. I've had one myself in 4 years. I get it. I'm pulling for him. I want him to win that. Sorry, Bastion. Sorry, Beerman. I know he's part of FBU. But I like that story. This is like outside of the character thing. I want Costner to win that because of that. It's everything seems lined up perfect with the way Survivor Series ended for him to take the gold and hold it for a while. I just like that scenario. Now, obviously, it's Bastion. You can speak to his benefit there, Beerme.
Yeah, he's gonna win. Nobody's been able to really, put him down. Well, I was about to say put him down. That sounded bad, but since he's won the title, nobody's really been able to beat him. So especially one-on-one, even in like non-title singles matches, he's still beating everybody. It's not like McKenna D where you can beat him in a non-title match and then down the line, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the Bastion's on such a roll right now that he's going to be tough for Costner to figure out. Like I said last time when we talked about it with Sebastian Escobar, he beat Sebastian Escobar, and I kind of put Escobar and Costner kind of on the same level right now. So I think it was close, and it was a hard-fought victory. So I think that it's going to be one of those again for Bastion. It's going to be a close, hard-fought victory.
So, like, you can see it going the other way, but you're still banking on your friend. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to WARGAMES. That is the name of the show. It is Team RGX. RGX, Ralentando, and two partners versus Honor Club. Rate Wrestle, the American champion, as we've mentioned, Alexander McKennedy. The Canadian champion, as we've mentioned, Smooth Rock, which is obviously why they're not defending here. And a partner to be named. Now, I have two announcements to make for this match. It is the other two members of Team RGX. So, hear me joining RGX and Ralentando. I have Ash and my good friend, the Midnight Rider.
Oh, all right.
Doing a little freelancing, doing a little work of his own. It's all good. It's Infinity representing his Honor Club. We kind of hate those guys. But I
right.
But I just say that not in character. That's character. Like I love the faction and stuff. I love all the characters. But yeah, Ryder gonna do some work. RGX, Ralentando, Ryder, and Ash. Maybe it'd be called Rash for the night, just so it's 4 R's. I don't know. But that's against Rate Wrestle, McKennedy, Smooth Rock, and whomever the last one is. I don't have that as my announcement, so there we go. We will see who that is when we get there. So who do you think is going to take it now, knowing that? Do you think Honor Club, with two champions, mind you, the two singles champions that aren't the world champ, versus quite literally former contenders for everything. Ash was so close to the world title. RGX had multiple hardcore American title shots. Ralentando, former Canadian champion. And the Ryder was in the inaugural American title matches. And former tag champion with myself. But a lot of champions in this. Of course, Rate Wrestle also was close to the American title actually at that time. So it's hard to bet against the champions. Not going to lie. But I got to go with the Ryder. Even though technically Lee is why we lost Survivor Series. Maybe I should be like, wait. I'm going with Team RGX. I want him to get that win over Honor Club. That seems, again, like the story's going there. I kind of want that, but sometimes you don't get what you want, and Infinity and Beyond lose, and sometimes it happens, and there you go.
Man, I'm gonna go with. Man, that's tough. We don't know who the other person for the Honor Club team is, do we?
No, I don't have it. I've double checked like 3 times. People can see me looking on my screen. I'm like, no, that's all I got.
I think with this is tough. I think with the 2 champions on Honor Club and the uncertainty of who the final man is, or person, or woman, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with their team. I'm gonna say that they get it done.
It's not a bad bet by any means. It's got the American champion who's had it since that title was inaugurated, and the Canadian champion who defeated the champion who had it since it was inaugurated. Like, yeah, I can't fault you there. It's probably a safe bet. What with Lee? Not to harp on anything, but it happens sometimes. Lee, I love you, but yeah, oops. Now, as far as for how WarGames works, I don't remember offhand. So please, follow into our Discord, and then go into the rules and stipulations. There is a document in there with how the points for WarGames works. There is advantage and such that was determined. I forget how that all goes. That's all in there too. But that determines who gets the points order. It might be backwards from what you think, like who gets advantage in the write-up actually doesn't get the point. It's a true advantage of points. Trust me on that. That's the write-up. Red and CT have written these before. I've never written a WarGames. They got this. It's all worked out. It's in there. Trust me. Trust them. But yeah, make sure you read those rules on how that works, because I think it's a point bonus. After saying all that, you just get extra points when you're later because you're coming in fresh. I forget. After all that. But yeah. Please check that stuff out. Please. Next up, the FPL Canadian Continental Tag Team Championship. La Familia, Detrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog are defending against Matt, Zion, and Rab. Never thought I'd see this. Actually, no, that's a lie. I thought it because we had them in a contenders match kind of back a while back, and they just lost that. And then here they come back, and they're the guys that go for it with all the WarGame stuff and everything happening. They're the team. This being WarGames, which is a takeover, like in all but name, right? It's a smaller card. I'm picking Matt and Rab because if they get it right, they can win this, and it's going to be insane. The safe money's on La Familia. I'm basically betting on ridiculous underdogs and gambling huge, but I'm going with Matt and Rab because I've seen crazier. I won a title with him, for crying out loud. So with Matt, so that's my pick. Who do you got, Beerme?
Okay, as much as it would be awesome and crazy if Matt and Rab won, I am going to pick La Familia because they've just been on a roll as a tag team. If
anybody's doing any kind of predictions of this match, don't pick Matt and Rab. Like, please. Right. Don't. You'll lose your money. But I just gotta, I kind of want to see it, so. Next up, you're invested in this one. It's the FPL World Championship #1 contenders match. The GMSG versus Josh Dionio versus Roman Pierce. Triple threat. I'm picking GMSG. We talked about this one a little bit at length last time. If you go check our prior episode from last week, it was at 2 in the morning on a Friday. It was great, which is quite literal, I think, at least 5 days ago at this point. But, yeah, for those who didn't know, it's Wednesday at 8. It's great. GMSG, I think, is the one to go with, but Josh Dionio could shock everybody here. Not that it would be a shock that he wins it, but he could, put a stamp on it, right? But I think GMSG... I like the idea of GMSG going after Bastion. Oops. Uh-oh. I like that a lot. I just like that situation. So I'm picking GMSG on that. But JD's a good bet, too. Not to discount Roman Pierce. He's here for a reason. It's just hard to bet on someone untested like that. But that's why they might win. Who you got?
Honestly, I could see JD and GMSG kind of canceling each other out and Roman Pierce winning. But I'm still going to pick GMSG. But it's so tough when it's a triple threat, but I gotta go with my stablemate.
Yep, that's fair.
Just gotta do it. Mm-hmm.
We've got question marks. We talked about these matches. We've already added them in. Here's the other WarGames, though. It is, as mentioned, the team versus team. The third team has been removed. It is Death Money Inc., the Arbiter, Kano Mac, Tino, and Ace High versus the Strays, Sheriff Michael Marsh, Mark Harper, and Supreme Rock. We talked about this one at length last time as well because we knew what it was when we pulled out the other team because the creatures got decimated by the Strays. That tells you almost all you need to know about the Strays' mentality going into this and what they're going to do in WarGames. But it is DMI, Death Money Inc., and it's kind of hard to bet against that. So far as I'm concerned, it's a bit of a toss-up, which is kind of surprising considering it, but both teams have been tag title contenders for parts of it and failed in their shots. Not a knock against it, that just is how good the champions are. But I think this one is probably going to be DMI winning. Sorry, I kind of paused there. But it's going to be close, and I think no matter what happens, the Strays are still going to make their presence known. And even if DMI wins, they might not be walking out. If they do win, if DMI do lose and the Strays do win, DMI's definitely not walking out. They're just, yeah.
So either way, they're in for a hurt.
It's gonna be a long night either way. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna pick the Strays.
Think so?
I think with their new they're just they're just gonna take it. They're gonna take what they want, and even if DMI were to win, they'd probably put them on the shelf and be like, well, you have no more teams, we want the shot. They're gonna win one way or another. But I think they're gonna win the WARGAMES match. Their brutality, it fits.
It does fit
the WARGAMES pretty well.
Yeah, it's kind of a safe bet. DMI, well, it remains to be seen. I'm really intrigued by this one to see where this goes, but I like how we're picking a bit opposite here. We don't do that just to pick the other. I think we got well thought out stuff here with these, and with DMI too. Like, I don't know from prior war games that have been done. I don't think any of these guys have been in them. Like the Strays, definitely not. But yeah, I don't think there's any history with war games. So again, even playing field. So very, very interesting to see what happens there. And then a lot of question marks because we got nothing else, and that's it. So that's that. Ooh, I noticed here, as CT watches this, he'll notice it says Final Battle Kickoff Show instead of War Games. Copy paste is our friend. Oops, sometimes happens. And yeah, of course, Final Battle's coming up after that. That is December 11th. That is a house show and our last one of the year. Then we have Day 1 on January 1, the 1st, with the logo that's outdated already, Big E and Rollins, but we've got stuff to come there. Smooth Rock and Roll Nintendo, as mentioned, but that's a month away. Quite literally from today. We'll come back to that. Hard to Kill about a week later on January 8th. And then the Royal Rumble, of course, on January 29th. With every title being defended, as mentioned, as well as, of course, the Royal Rumble match itself. So to be part of all of this, please, 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 follow us on Twitter, Frontline League. Follow through on this YouTube channel, and then go look for the link to our Discord. Jump on in and sign up with a character. And you can be part of our YouTube stuff with us talking about your matches. You can be part of all the stuff we're talking about with your character chat in there. And you can also just watch along as CT watches New Japan at 3 in the morning. Or we watch like Impact sometimes, Thursday nights. It's all in there. It's all there, and we talk about the stuff. But also the matches, the write-ups, the results. Because when we do this, it's going to be a lot of fun stuff that comes out of this. Because this is coming up. Bear me up. I know we talked about it a lot last time, but I scroll back up here to Day 1. That is the FPL anniversary, literally on January 1st. We're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Do you have any plans? Any plans for the anniversary? You're kind of like there but not. Like it's the four of us that are the writers, and you're here for this show. What's your thoughts for the anniversary?
I have no idea. I'm at that stage where I just keep losing by like 1 point in like all my matches. It's either 1 or 2 points. I don't know. I gotta get ready. So whatever's next, I'll be ready. But I just gotta catch up on NXT for NXT WarGames. So.
Yeah, that is this Sunday. That's a good segue, Bear Me. Thanks for that. NXT WarGames is Sunday, December 5th. It is, I believe, 8 o'clock. That's what all theirs are, but please double check that. Pre-show is likely going to be 1 hour. Sometimes it's a half hour for those, but we haven't seen it NXT 2.0 pre-show yet. But even if it is, whatever it is, our deadline is an hour before that. So if the show's at 8, kickoff at 7, pre-show, our deadline at 6. Put your picks in by 6 o'clock Sunday. The picks page is not out as of yet. It might be shortly because NXT was last night. We're, like I said last time, just probably waiting another day or so just to make sure nothing else gets changed because we don't want matches thrown out and it's like a 4-match card. We want to make sure stuff is on there and finalized because they're going to do stuff all through the week, right? So go on, put your picks in, make sure you're on time. We don't want people missing War Games itself. And then join us on Sunday afternoon to watch the War Games in our live event. And it's going to be crazy as we lose our minds and watch this stuff, and it should be a lot of fun. I think War Games itself does look like fun, Bear Me, especially like LA Knight's still in there. Yeah, it's gonna be good. But anything else you have to say to the people at War Games, or anybody here in the FPL for this Sunday? Any words of advice? You were at War Games at WrestleMania, weren't you?
I was.
Did you win?
No. That's the Creatures one.
I know. Oh, who?
I think the Creatures won. No.
Who were they?
Or did
No, I'm pretty sure the Creatures did win that because OBS. I don't think OBS won that. I'm pretty sure the Creatures won. It was only April. We already forget. But
yeah, it's a long time ago.
Any words of advice though to the people in War Games?
Just good luck. You're gonna need it. It's tough.
I'll leave everybody with that. Thanks again for watching. This is again Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League on the YouTube channel, and of course through our Discord. Like, favorite, subscribe. I know it's repetitive, but say all that stuff. And also check out Top of the Card Pod, our weekly podcast available on Spotify and wherever you get all your stuff for podcasts, Apple and all that. It's with Beerme and I and the other writers and owners of the FPL talking real wrestling. And we had an episode go up this past weekend, and we're going to be recording one next week. It's bi-weekly. Check that out as well. We're really proud of that and really happy with it. And everything's just fun. Lots of fun stuff in wrestling right now. I know there's like sad stuff too, but we try to keep this fun and have a lot of fun with it. So that's our goal here. And if people are having fun, that's really all that matters. So I thank you for joining me here, Beerme. I think we're good to go, and I've rambled long enough. Have a good night.